Hello you guys, it is Tuesday, March 17th. Let me just double check. Yeah, 17th of March. And it's the fourth day of confinement here in Spain. We are instructed not to leave the house unless you have to go to the pharmacy or go to some groceries, and pretty much that's it. And and go and throw the trash, the rubbish that you have in the house. And so this confinement, it's not proving, at least in here. I live in the most centric street in town where I live, and I see people from my window and whatnot all the flipping time because I really live downtown. People going to do the groceries. It's not like you're staring at the window all the time, but I can see people that they will enter the grocery store and buy a loaf of bread, and later on they go and buy some bleach, and later on they go and buy some tissue, and later on, and this is not what we have been instructed to do. So also there's people that are walking the dog 24/7. This is also not what we have been instructed. We, the people from the shelter, I haven't gone thus far, but I will eventually, because on top of that it's rainy. Now here comes the truck. Because we need to go and, needless to say, clean the dogs and clean their environment as every single day we do, and feed them and just give them a 5-minute short walk to each, just so they move, because otherwise it's pretty stressing. But yeah, other than that, we're here. The first 2 days, I have to say, I didn't take it that good. I was at home, with comfy clothing. I barely ever wear PJs because I don't use PJs, but I was with leisure, with loungewear. Is that how you say it? Yeah, with loungewear. And I saw myself in the window and I thought, man, if this is going to last for a long time, I better start taking care of myself inside and out. Otherwise, I'm going to lose myself in this equation. And so yesterday, I started doing that, but I started panicking. Not panicking just because, but the world all of a sudden became really small. You see, it became truly, truly small. And I started to have my heart racing, and having had anxiety in the past and having dealt with that, it was easy to recognize that I was anxious. So what I did from yesterday is just, for my mental health, to each its own. I barely ever turn on the TV, but these days I was watching news pretty much like everyone and their mama. I decided just to cut this stream of info. I read the news on the newspaper, on my computer, online, once a day. And I have come to terms with myself that if something major is happening, I am assured, 100% sure, that someone on WhatsApp or on Instagram and whatnot is gonna communicate that, and we will all be aware. So there's no need to be 24/7 with that state of alarm. And the best way, at least that it works for me to be calm, is I have created myself a schedule. I have created myself a schedule because I realized otherwise I was gonna lose it, and I was gonna get anxious, and this was gonna go downhill in the worst way possible. Now, granted, needless to say that there's people that have it way worse than us, and we are, the only thing that we are told, we are asked to do, is to stay home. Now, go figure, the people that escaped from war and get on a boat in the Mediterranean Sea just to escape the war, and they don't know if that boat is going to make it to some other coast just to survive, and they are refugees. Now, they have it worse. And having said that, it's hard to cope with this feeling of being isolated, being silent all the time. Hence, I needed to hit the play button and communicate with a couple of you guys that will be watching this or whatever, just to speak, even if nobody watches this, just to speak, just to hear my voice in a way, just to communicate, because it's like somewhat therapeutical. And what I did this morning, I did this yesterday, I started this routine, but today it was like the official starting point of my routine. I woke up for whatever reason. I'm not sleeping much, but from what I heard, it's not that uncommon, because now it's justified anxiety. And even though I go to sleep, watching good videos that make you laugh, I watch The Office and whatnot, still, you see, you have it in the back of your mind. You have it within you, mainly because you cannot unsee that things are not normal, and everyone is in a bit of state of alarm. I try to keep it cool, but the rest of my family, I have some relatives that even on WhatsApp, right now I have my phone on airplane mode, and that's how it is. I decided I have a relative that she is overwhelmed with all of this, and she is in state of alarm, and she is just sending us bad news all the flipping time and all the same, and it was mentally exhausting. And I need some to take care of my physical but also my mental health. So I decided just to put my phone on airplane mode, and every now and then I will just remove the airplane mode and I'll check what's up, but not all the flipping time. I prefer to have a bit of silence than to be in state of alarm all the time, because it's many streams coming to you with the same info, and it's not a good info. Anyway, if you can see here some lines, it's because I was wearing glasses. What's the point of wearing contact lenses inside your house? I have the allergies, seasonal allergies, and contact lenses will burn your eyes in said case. So if you see the lines, that's why. And I created myself, as I was saying, I created myself a schedule. I wake up, I do not set an alarm, but I wake up. I don't sleep much. I woke up today at 6 a.m. People woke up at 9, you don't have to go work or whatnot. So woke up at 9 or whatnot. But I woke up at 6. And instead of having my morning coffee, given the fact that I'm not gonna go burn that extra caffeine induced into my body, I just had a bowl of cereal with milk, and then I prepare myself some herbal tea just to have something warm as I was working with my computer, and that's it. Then today I made an extra. I'm gonna switch the routines just to not make it so monotonous every single day. And today I did spring cleaning into this bedroom that it's shining like a new coin. Not that I never clean the room, because I clean the entire house every single week. That's what I do. But today I took special, I had all the time in the world, so I took special care. I took the magic eraser, that rubber that they sell at the drugstores, and you can rub if there is something that a chair has touched the wall or whatever. So I took the magic eraser and I took the extra time, and I created this routine. And in the mornings I do some stretching, breakfast stretching, and then I decided that even though I am not leaving the house, I am not infected, I am not on forced quarantine, but it's what we're asked to, and it's the least we can do, to see a good reflection in the mirror when I look at myself in the mirror. And so the first thing I did was get dressed once again. I'm not going to Paris Fashion Week. It's just a comfy sweater. But I did just 2 boxing braids, and then I applied some makeup. Just because I don't sleep much, I can see the dark eyes as if someone had punched me in the face, just because I don't get that much sleep. But concealer does wonders, and this light bulb, you guys. And I don't know to you guys, but to me, if I see a good reflection in the mirror, like my entire mood changes in a good way. So that's what I'm doing. And then I prepare have lunch, and I get on social media, check it a little bit. I work on my computer a little bit more. I then stop and read, and I decided that I might start studying something just for the sake of doing something, and writing in my other computer, my PC that I barely ever open, but now it's open in another room, in another desk, and then I am writing in there, creative writing. And by the late evening, what I do is I go downstairs at the garage. We have this elliptical machine, luckily, luckily for me, and yeah, I go there and I burn all the extra energy that I accumulated through the day of not moving. I burn it in there, and then I come upstairs and I have this 21 days of yoga book that I bought and I thought I would never use it. Guess what? Now I'm gonna, and I do 1 day of exercising of yoga, and then I go get showered, get on my comfy clothing again, loungewear, prepare myself dinner, make myself some herbal tea, and by the end of the day I switch in there. I just lay in my bed in that ugly pillow that I have, but it's the comfiest one, and I sit on my computer and I will edit this video and upload it, and that's what I do. And I keep up with you guys on YouTube, and then if I feel like it, I watch on Netflix, but I don't want to be 24/7 doing nothing, not feeling productive, because then I start to feel really anxious. Here I am, having slept 4 to 5 hours, and that's it. And it's exhausting. What I'm trying to do now, I'm filming, it's noon, I could be taking a nap and just catching on with some sleep, much needed sleep actually, but I try to be more tired just to see if tonight I get lucky and I get to sleep more. Now, aside from me, because this is not about me, this is affect us all, I'm just telling you how I am coping with that. Aside from that, what I'm seeing and from what I read in the news, and it's really nerve-wracking. France, for instance, has guaranteed all the citizens that they're not going to pay taxes, and all the rent that the state's going to take care of that, and all the business owners, small business owners, they won't have to be paying their contribution as long as this lasts. But in here in Spain, people, autonomous workers, are on their last nerve because the government has postponed the payments but not canceled the payments. So if you cannot generate income, how are you going to pay the taxes from a job that you didn't get to do because you're forced to shut down your business? This doesn't add up. On top of that, we have a king in Spain, and the king, there was a scandal with 65 million euros, and yeah, I think they thought with all this havoc, no one would pay attention to that, but what they forgot is that everyone is in their houses being idle all the time, so you can pay extra attention. On top of that, it's not like they took it it's so unfair. I have two friends of mine, and they're a couple, that they have been let go from their jobs up until further notice, just like that. Just because they wouldn't want to pay the salary, so the state pays, when you're not working, if you have worked and you have accumulated enough worked years, and that's what the situation is. And then there's some other friends that I have that they work, for instance, in furniture factories and whatnot. Is that necessary? We're not talking about a truck driver that is bringing fresh goods, fruit and produce, to this town. We're talking about people building chairs and beds and whatnot and tables. Is that necessary? And they are told to go to work. Now, this is a small town, and everyone commutes with a car. So they commute to work, and then at work they wear masks and gloves. How is that preventive enough if you have to be working and with contact with people? I don't see, it doesn't make sense, the prevention in there. And on top of that, in the bigger cities, people take the public transportation. You're told to be 1.5 meters away from the person next to you. There is no can do. It is rush hour, and they are jam-packed, as they always are, in the subway and train and buses. How is that helping us all? It doesn't add up. It's like a big, giant nonsense that we're living in here, at least. Like, we are aware that we have to stay home. But for instance, the state workers, if you're a teacher, if you're a doctor, needless to say, doctors are working, but if you're a teacher, or if you're, I don't know, an accountant for the state or something like that, and you work at the post office, or any state worker will get paid 100% of the salary. And the people that freelance and work on their own, they have to pay the taxes. And on top of that, they are forced to stay home and not work. It doesn't add up, and people are getting really pissed. Now, the bright side of this is that this has created more communication and solidarity. Did I say that right? Within neighbors, and every day at 8 p.m. we go out and we applaud for the doctors and the people that are working, even the store clerk at your local grocery that is providing your food, and we applaud for them and the tasks that they are taking and the risk that they are exposing themselves to. And there's this trend also. I have a small nephew, he's 7 years old, that everyone is painting rainbows on if you have a cardboard paper, or if you don't, just a white sheet, linen, and they are painting rainbows, and it's all gonna be alright. And they put it, every single family with children, in their balconies, or the majority of them. And it's just so the children, because they are forced to stay home, like they cannot exit whatsoever, and every citizen over 65, they cannot exit either. And so they can watch through the window and know that they are not alone, and that everything is gonna be okay. Is everything gonna be okay? I have this trust within me that everything is gonna be okay, but it's not gonna be easy, and it's gonna be hard on all of us. But yeah, I don't want to get into politics, because to each its own. I could get really metaphysical in here and give my opinion on why we're going through this, and is there any hidden agenda, and does this make sense? Like, why am I saying that? If we are staying home and whatnot, and people in the States are doing the same thing, but then you read the news and you hear from people living in the UK, and they took in a completely opposite direction, and it's like, okay, do whatever you will all get infected, and the faster we go through that, the better. Then I read this article that I should find, but I don't know if I can find it. Let me just see if I can find it. It's from the Washington Post, so you go to washingtonpost.com/graphics/2020/world/corona-simulator. And that article is explaining from scientists how being in quarantine, whilst it might help, it's not the cure-all solution. Does it make sense? I don't know. Take it as you will. There's this Boris Johnson, very radical, that I don't especially agree point of view. There's this other view that we have to be in quarantine. Do I agree with that? To some extent, I think it makes all the sense, because we have to be responsible. Not for ourselves, but for the people that have health issues and our elderlies and whatnot. So we have to be extra aware of that, and we have to take care of that. But I feel, oh, can you see that I haven't been speaking much? That I have this brain fog almost. I feel like there is some sociological experiment, or at least at least sociologists, will make some case studies of that. But my sister, she's a lawyer, and she was on duty yesterday, and she had to go and attend 3 cases of domestic abuse. Usually when she's on duty for domestic abuse, she will get 1 call to none. So the numbers, multiplied by 3, and that was just the 3rd day of confinement. So how good is it being confined for all of us? To some of us, it might be just, we have to suck it up. If we are anxious, or if we're fed up with being home, it's not the same being nervous as being anxious, but you create a routine, you get through it somehow, everything's gonna be okay. But there is people that being at home is more dangerous than being at work. Other than that, I'll try to keep the aims high just by what I already told you. Just getting ready in the morning, getting dressed, getting all a little bit presentable to my, not that you're not presentable, but getting pretty just to when you see yourself in the mirror, you say, damn girl, looking good today. Ain't nobody needs to see those dark circles for not sleeping. Whatever. It's my own mentality. Later on, when I'll feel inspired, I will start to cook. But so far, this social chaos has hit my stomach as well. If you don't know, we have more neurons in our stomach than we have in our brains, and they have been affected and irritated. And all I'm eating these days is boiled rice. Yay! Yay me! And so, whilst the majority of people are home watching Netflix and snacking on whatever chocolates, popcorn, and you name it, I'm home, but I'm not eating that much because I have an upset stomach that hopefully it's gonna recover soon, and it's not a problem whatsoever. It's just something that it is what it is, but it's a current situation. I really truly appreciate all the content creators that selflessly have started creating more content, being on Instagram, YouTube, but mainly on Instagram. You will have live yoga lessons, live fitness lessons, live CrossFit, live psychology, live humor. Like there's lots of comedians here in Spain that they will make a humor sketch every single day. And this is helping us all, to carry this in a lighter manner in a way. And that's what it is. There's not much else to say because what I'm going through, you are going through, so you already know that. This is my 5 cents. I will not, for sure, keep you updated on my daily life because it's gonna be pretty monotonous and it's gonna be the same that you have, most likely. But what I'm planning on doing, if that is okay with you, I have some pre-recorded videos that are a little bit nonsensical about makeup and whatnot. And I might plan on doing some, self-care, makeup, beauty, something that I can do from here in my bedroom and that I don't have to exit and I can create with what I have in here and upload it to YouTube just to, for the few of you, if you need some distraction and if it can help someone, good. And if not, it's gonna help me just to communicate and I will have something else to do besides hanging around. So that's my 5 cents from me to you from the fourth day of confinement in here. And yeah, I hope you're doing well wherever you are, and that it all goes through as quickly and safely as possible. In the meantime, I'm sending you a big kiss and see you soon. Bye.